Yeah, I mean, we had a good practice. Covered a lot of stuff. Not as much contact. Um, but I think it's good to take advantage of these days. Work on our spacing. Work on what we're looking for. Um, so overall, good day.
Now, for Brad and Kevin, what were they able to do today, and what's their status for tomorrow?
Yeah, Brad and Kevin did everything today. So they came out of yesterday in a good place. Again, today wasn't, really no contact. At the end of the day, today they did it all, and again, we'll kind of wait to see how they feel. But we're expecting them to play. We're hopeful that they'll play, and I think they're excited to play.
When you look at just when you're trying to get two guys that are scorers back in rhythm, and they haven't played, and they've been sort of watching it, what's maybe the task of getting them back in flow, the guys who have established a different flow without them?
Yeah, no, I mean, those two guys are veterans. This group's played together. Start of season last year. It's basketball. They got to go out and play, and it's not easy, but I think just lean on their IQ, lean on their experience, and just get them to go out and compete and play together.
Do you think usually coaches say it takes 15 or 20 games maybe to get a good feel for what they have? Do you feel like you have a good feel for where you guys are right now, or is this last stretch kind of maybe suspended that a little bit?
Yeah, I think that's a good way of phrasing it. I think there's still probably more time needed just to truly know each other. We need to be ready to go tomorrow night. We can't be waiting, we can't be wondering. But to kind of truly know, what you have and everything like that. I think, we've been without Brad and without Kevin for a little bit here. So I think we'll keep growing. And in some ways, you keep growing throughout the whole year, to be honest with you.
When you look at Kevin's minutes, leading the league in minutes when he has been out there, a guy that obviously wants to be out there quite a bit, how do you kind of approach this upcoming stretch? Not to ease him back in, but to make sure that his minutes aren't too high.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think Kevin and the medical group, we'll all talk about it and figure out, the best way to bring him back, keep him healthy. He loves to play. He loves to be on the court. I think that's part of you love players that want to be out there and play.
When you look at this last stretch, how much can having Brad and Kevin back help in terms of just the psyche and the spirit of the team a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, they're two great players. Practice yesterday was great. Seeing them, scrimmage and go at each other. And, they're great players. So I think the confidence of everybody is going to be lifted, with their return. But we can't just sit back and say we have Brad and Kevin, everything's going to be okay. There's a lot of work to be done. There's a lot of things that go into winning. Those two guys understand and appreciate it, and everybody else has got to kind of, I think, follow and, put in that effort.
I know it's early on in the season, but I want to ask, what type of coach are you trying to set with this team? As I know it's been still early in the season, but what type of coach are you trying to set?
Well, I mean, I think we always talk about being competitive. We want competitors. We want to go out and compete. Everything we do, compete. And then I think we want to be a group that's very much together, that plays together, that makes plays for each other, does everything together. And so I think those are probably the two, kind of standards or things that we talk about and believe in the most.
Everybody.
Yeah, there's a little knick-knack, but definitely felt a lot better. Definitely a good rehab process, and thankfully we had the schedule we had, so we had some rest days, Kay and I. So I feel great. Excited about tomorrow. Get back going.
Curious, when you had it going so well offensively before the setback, how quickly do you feel like you can get back into that rhythm that you had?
It'll still be there. Obviously it's probably more game shaping, just getting that feel back. But the mentality will be the same. The energy will be the same, and I think it was more or less my approach than anything, and just kind of like just channeling that aggression a lot more. Granted, it was more or less because Kay was out, but even with him back, kind of still having that same mindset of being aggressive and attacking the defense. So that's what's best for our team.
One other thing I had was just trying to keep the locker room together when you get into a stretch like that, knowing guys are out.
Yeah.
It's a lot of games in a short period of time, but still, when you start that way and end up like this, how are you guys able to do that?
One of the toughest things about in the league, is, especially when you're a guy that's out, is that communication part. with giving advice to guys and giving that encouragement, especially if you missed a lot of games. Like if you miss a lot of games, sometimes guys like your voice becomes like, all right, it becomes a little watered down. But at the same time, having that vet experience and guys understanding, you've been in the league a long time, you've seen the highs and lows, you're a true pro, so they respect your voice at the end of the day. So it's been good to just like Kay and I just continue to just be engaged with guys, helping the young guys out, helping the staff out too, giving them advice, things we see, things we can do differently, how we can help Book when he was out there by himself. If we're ever in those situations again, like how we can be better. So it was a good learning experience over the last week and a half.
Was there a specific play where you kind of tweaked it, or something that's just a lot of the next day?
I know it's Utah game. I can't pinpoint I'm sorry, I'm spitting all over it. Can't pinpoint an exact play. I think it was definitely second half, late third quarter, early fourth. But I can't really pinpoint a play. I know it's just kind of a gradual build up throughout the game.
When you look at Book, the way the defenses have been loading up on him, how much it's kind of looking forward to you and Kay being out there to kind of take some of that pressure?
I'm sure he is for sure. But even then, I think the last few days we've been doing a better job of understanding how to get him open, how we can free him up, eliminate some of the hard work that he has to do with just getting the ball. That's a lot of hard work in itself. So not to mention what we asked him to do with playmaking, shooting the ball and scoring the ball. So like we're asking him to do a lot when he's out there by himself. It's our job to make it a lot easier, and I think we did that. We put some good systematic things in that we can go to, some quick hitters, especially when they double and triple team, or they want to just try to take the ball out of him and Kay's hands. We have some stuff that we can go to, and our spacing is a lot better.
Knowing what this team can do, how you guys started with a healthy lineup, how exciting is that? Just that you guys are getting back to that healthy lineup.
It's encouraging for sure. That's like the number one thing with our team. If we can be healthy, then we know what we can be. But it's obviously we got to check that box and making sure that we stay our availabilities, our best ability. And then it's we can't keep talking about it. We know what we can do, but we got to go out and prove it and continue to play. Kind of start the year how we did. Off with a good start, but kind of pick that back up, get back to where we left off, and really take stride in this nice stretch we have.
Brad, last year was so challenging for you. When you tweak something, when you have to stay out again, do you have to kind of fight to keep those thoughts from coming back?
100%, man. It's just you're human beings, so we deal with stresses, and I think we're probably our biggest critics than you guys are of us, so nobody critiques ourselves, nobody wants to play harder, nobody wants to be more available than us as players. So it definitely is a little frustrating too when you have that constant, you get back and then there's another knick-knack that holds you out. So I think that's definitely, 90% of the battle is just making sure that you're mentally tough, mentally strong, have a good support system, that your trainers and doctors and everybody are encouraging. Your family is encouraging. Just making sure that you have a lot of positivity, because negative mind can be very dangerous.
You seem like you're in a good place with that.
Great place. I mean, I've had my fair share of injuries, man. I think it's gotten to the point to where it's like, you control what you can control. I'm not going out there trying to get hurt. I'm not going out, wanting to be injured, not wanting to play. Like those that know me know I'll play with a broken something. So it's going to take a lot for me to not be out there. But at the same time, just over the years, you learn to, embrace that moment that you're in, when you are hurt. There is some positivity in that, whether it's, your body needing proper rest, whether it's your mental needing a rest, whether it's you just kind of just getting back into whatever it is, that flow that you need. It's always a blessing in something negative, so I always just try to keep that mindset, eliminate the negativity, and, because that's a part of the healing process too. If you're negative, your body's not going to heal, it's not going to respond properly, so just taking care of your mind, man. Your mind's very powerful, for sure.
So it comes down to experience for you. Like this is something maybe 5-6 years ago you would have tried to play through, I imagine.
Yeah, and I'd have been out every other game, and you guys were like, "What the hell is wrong with Brad?" So yeah, it's being hard-headed. Obviously, as a young kid, you can wake up in the morning and just not stretch and don't come out and hoop. And as you get older, you can't do that as much. And I think I love the fact that I have a staff that kind of dials me back, because I can still be hard-headed. I'm good. I can push through, But they do a really good job of looking at big picture. We want to play in June. That's what's most important.
coming back to play against the Lakers, what have you noticed about this team since you played them early in the season compared to now?
They've made some lineup changes for one. They've always been a big physical team. You know, that's never going to change. I think they're going to continue to seek out the paint. AD's been playing at MVP level status. Obviously, Brown's crazy still doing what he's doing at his age, and I think they added Cam Reddish in their lineup, and Austin's at the 1 now. So they still have their versatility. I think they have a lot of size, but I think we'll be ready for it. Well prepared.
What culture has Coach Budenholzer brought to this team?
Still ongoing, man, but I think it's just his mentality. I think every day he's trying to implement his system. Every day, whether it's how we eat, how we come into the gym, everything. He's just still trying to get his flow in it. But he's a tough coach, man. He's very he expects results. You know, he expects us to be disciplined with what we do and everything that he's asking us. But he's also a fun coach. I would say that, like, he kind of has his little tough side. He looks mean all the time, but he's a fun coach. You know, he's very encouraging. He's very uplifting. You know, he doesn't really give a red light to anybody, which is crazy. You don't really see. Like, sometimes you like, all right, no, you can't do that. He doesn't have any of that. Everybody has pretty much a green light to basically like get out. He doesn't put anybody in a box, which is what I like.
When you look at the 5-on-5 you had, how big was that for you making this return?
That was huge. You know, I think it was just good to be able to just get up and down, be back out with the guys. Just kind of see what my body is, see how I'm feeling my game is. And I felt good. Felt really good. So,
Thanks, Ryan.
promising for tomorrow.
It's going to be great. Having those two back in the starting lineup now, just, watching them and watching how they play and just, bringing that extra firepower back in the team is going to help us a lot.
When you look at though you were out from starting, what have you gained from maybe the starting part of the experience that you feel like can help you later on in the season?
I think just learning how to be a player in those spots early in the game. It's kind of different coming off the bench. You get the flow of the game. You understand what's going on. As a starter, you're coming off rips, so you got to be ready all the time. So being able to now understand, get those reps as a starter, and then just bringing them to, if I got to come in early in the first quarter, second quarter, bringing that same intensity throughout the jump, and then not even for the season, but for my career. Learning how to start the whole time.
How drastic of a shift did you notice on the floor between the way teams were loading up on both the last couple of games and how it looked at the start of the year when everyone was healthy?
Yeah, I think it was a pretty good difference. Like you saw, like in the beginning of the year, they couldn't really help because you had Brad, Kevin, me, all the guys hitting shots, and kind of once those two got hurt, they kind of just said, all right, we're just going to start double on Devin, and then let's make plays, which is cool. We get reps, and then I think it's going to help a lot. We've been working on that as well when they do doubles, so it's just going to be when those guys come back, find those guys, but also making plays when we do double.
Were those good reps for you, kind of noticing what happens when they aren't giving you that space, but also the way that they'll quickly recover back to you?
Oh, 100%. It's just learning, how to make plays off those reps and just, learning how to just be a player no matter where you are on the floor.
You've been consistent about when you're going up against elite offensive players and trying to shut them down, that some nights they're just going to have your number. How has that process been, guarding everyone from Jalen Brunson to all these different guys?
Yeah, this stretch has been tough. It's kind of not, I won't say discouraging, but challenging. But as you say, like I gotta realize I'm guarding the best players in the world every single night. So like, give myself a little bit of grace. I'm always tough on myself, but it's good just getting these reps, like I always said, being able to come out and compete, and guarding Brown again tomorrow, and then keep going from there throughout the season.
In a similar vein, you've talked a lot about knowing there's going to be highs and lows as far as the shooting goes. How has that been now that you've kind of found yourself in a stretch where maybe you've wanted to make a move?
I kind of like it now because now I know that everyone was on that high, and now kind of dimmed down a little bit. So now it's just now getting really into the flow of the season. Like I always said, it's going to be ups and downs, but it's just enjoying the process of it, and not getting goal-oriented off the rip. Just being able to keep the work in like I've been doing, coming off threes, free throws, just making plays like that.
Ryan, you guys got off to such a good start. Do you feel like now that you're back and everybody's healthy, can you pick up from where you left off, or do you think you guys are going to have to build back that up a little bit?
I think we can. I think we have the firepower, like I said before. I think we have the guy to do it. Obviously, it's going to be a little tough. They got to get into the game and get into the season. It's early. But I think, once we keep clicking again like we did early in the season, it's going to be scary.
You mentioned giving yourself a little bit of grace here, guarding the best people, in the NBA. But was it hard to kind of come to that conclusion where you needed to tell yourself to give yourself yourself a little grace, or is that an easy process for you?
I think it's a mix of both because I'm always competitive. So like I always want to take that challenge and win those challenges. But I understand it for where I am in this league, and I'm not guarding like someone that's shooting 25%. Like I'm shooting one that's shooting 40% from three, and he's doing everything. So it's just kind of picking your battles and kind of learning like I'm not gonna win the war, every time, but just winning a possession can help to change the game a lot.
Ryan, when you look at obviously going further down the schedule, you got Lakers, the Nets, and then the Warriors. Just maybe as a rookie seeing that you already went through some gauntlets and this is being another.
Yeah, like you said, like going to Lakers again. LeBron, AD, all those guys is great. We see them a lot, and then now learning with the Nets with Cam Thomas. It's actually flying with the school of Cam Thomas, so that's kind of crazy. But just he's a great scorer, and then obviously Steph Curry. I gotta come off 45 off-ball screens and get my wind up for that game, which I'm excited for. But like you said, it's a gauntlet now, so just trying to get back to it.
Is Steph a unique challenge you had in mind coming into the league, knowing that was one you wanted to tackle?
Yeah, I mean he's a guy that does a lot off ball and a lot on ball and sets a lot of screens. So it's just now understanding who he is as a player, watching film on that and see what I can do to try to demolish him.
Is the toughest thing like the fakes that he uses?
I mean, yeah, he's a great shooter. It's Steph Curry. Like he's like you think he's gonna make every shot when he shoots it. So it's just trying to stay down and not get a lot of foul calls, but just being aggressive and just trying to make it tough on him.